Awesome. This next one's an interesting question. It says, if worry is sin, how can I get right with God being continually depressed? And so I think there's some layers to that. There's the first part of Jesus saying, do not worry, and you're worrying, and some of it is a lack of trust and lack of faith, and many layers of that.
Well, let's build this off that last question, where I have this paradigm that God has the God rules, right?
Yeah.
Because this person began their question with, if worry is sin, as if there's a list of rules, and if I do them just right, then I'm on the right side. But actually, think more like Jesus' words and say, worry is death. And we want to keep sin as an ideal, but for this one, let's set it aside as a moment. Just say, it's death. Worry is the attempt to control something which is beyond my control. My kids right now the older ones are at home, and the younger ones with some people. And if I'm worried about them right now, down in Bowling Green, 40 minutes away, I have no control over it. I can't do anything about it. And if I'm allowing my soul to try to do it, it will create death in me, because my soul, it's like banging your soul against a glass wall. I can see what's in the side, but I just keep banging my soul against it. So what we want to do with worry is not label it sin and feel bad about it. We want to label it death and seek life out of it. And life is the saying. So right now, if it were my kids, something simple, what I want to do is say, my Father, you've got that. You love my kids more than me. You love this world more than whatever I'm worried about it. If I can admit that my Father in heaven cares more about it than me and is doing the right thing, then I can begin to release it from taking over my soul, which can't do anything about it. And it allows me to then care for what He has put within my grasp to control.
Yeah, that's hard, and I think it's like Kevin's story that we heard this morning. I feel like we're always going between this tension of just, hey, we live in a broken world, and trusting our Father doesn't mean it's always going to work out for us. And we've had situations where we trusted and it didn't work out the way we wanted it to work out. And so then that makes it hard, I think, to do what you just said.
Yeah, so let's talk about that real quick. So God has, quote, let us down. And we have to come up with, that can be a couple things. Like, first of all, did we entrust something with God that He didn't want us to have? So imagine one of my kids really, really trusts me, and so that they can, if there's something they want to keep safe, they can give it to me and I'll take care of it for them. And so they have a $10 bill they want to keep safe. You put it in Dad's pocket, Dad's got it, right? But if one of them hands me a bag of cocaine, right, I'm not going to give that back to them, even though they really value it. Right? You can see how that might work. So one of the possible things that maybe, and we would be careful about prescribing what's God's counsel and how He works, but it might be that God said, I know you thought that was life. Can you trust me it's not? Another piece of this thing, and this is super important, is that God didn't begin the rebellion. God is about solving it. But the rebellion's killing us. Not just my personal rebellion, but the humankind problem that yields wars and famines and every form of foulness. And we think, well, God, you could just shut it all down. You could just axe it and it'll be gone. But to do so will be to take away all of it is that we could actually choose Him with. It would make God not good. And you'd have to really look into a discussion of that. But when we actually think of God as the one who did evil, we do great damage to ourselves, because God is the one who is seeking to use good to overcome evil. And if that meant His Son suffering a cross, we should suspect that there will be crosses for us, as we are part of His plan to use good to overcome evil.